Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday evening. Welcome back to this episode of San Jean Bought Marathon Matters. Today we're going to discuss season 9, episode 37, Stressful SATs. Okay, so today, so let's get to it. So it starts out normal. He gets breakfast, but he has to take it down to Miss Oswalt's room because today is the day that they take the SATs. He's stressed out and anxious, but today is the day that he has to do it. So he goes down, he eats breakfast, they get prepared, they get ready for the day, they get ready for the testing. Um, so and they wait for everyone to get there. Um, so so once everyone gets there, the bell rings, the day starts, and Miss Isma welcomes everyone. She talks about the test. They tell the guidelines and what to expect with the test and the rules and all that, blah blah blah, and instructions of the test, blah blah blah. Um, so we go through that, and then we get some scrap paper, calculator, pencils. So we get ready. So in the first section, I think is like language arts, which is one of the easier sections. So, and they have like an hour or so to do it. So, all right. So they log into the test on on their devices, and they get on the test. They log into the language arts section um of the test, and everyone is quiet, everyone has to shut up and things. So they start the time and they start the test, and he's doing some like grammar. He's having to read some sections of like an article and answer some questions of article. And it takes and they have an hour to complete. So we just basically see Hunter doing the language arts section and the other fellow students doing the test. So we see that. So then the language arts section is done. And they take a break, they collect all the papers, if they have the white notes, and they do what they have to do. They take a break so Hunter gets to um, they don't have their phone because they have to put their phones away before a test. I forgot which. But Hunter, um, but they have some paper. They get to chit chat a little bit. So he said there's some friends in his class and during the test. So he chit chats with some, even some board members like Dustin, I believe. Um, so so he chit chats with the members and about whatever and they do get to have like a mint and like some snacks and stuff. They can walk in the hallway and bathroom breaks and stuff, water breaks and stuff. So they do that. And Hunter like draw some pictures of cats or whatnot or smiley faces or hello or something, just doodling, scribbles and stuff while he's waiting for the break to be over. And then they end the break. They get another minute, um, and now they're on to the reading section. So where they had to read a bunch of articles, a bunch of sections of like books and whatnot, answer questions. It's kind of stressful and boring. And he has ADHD, so it's kind of his attention is just oh man. And then they have like a writing section. They have to write about what they read. It's just a lot. So we see all the people doing this section of the test, um, and at this point, the test is pretty much done. I mean, not for the day. The day is not done, but and this one's like 50 minutes or so, 45 to 50 minutes to an hour again. So once the hour's up, they're like, yay, we're done for right now. So then they have lunch, so which is not the same lunch period as normal, so he won't be able to see his barhead members, and he's not able to have his phone, just like the PSATs, but definitely not because this is the SATs, which are more more top dog um, test, so a really more important test. Um, so they go to lunch, um, and in fact, they have to get a to-go tray and get all their stuff. Today is like hamburger day with fries, and he's decided to have a break, like a 45-minute break to eat. They don't get to use their phones, but he brings the lunch over. They have to go to the middle school, and that's where the lunchroom is. Go back to the high school, and to the basement where Miss Oswalt's room is. Uh, and they sit down and they get to eat. Well, they go into next door. They have like a mini cafe, so they eat in there because we're not allowed to eat like food uh, in Miss Oswalt's room. So um, we have to eat it next door to her room, which is kind of convenient. So we get a break, we chit chat, we eat some lunch. Um, and then we go back to the room once we're done, and we get to doodle a little bit until everyone gets done, and chit chat. And then after our lunch break, we are now on like the mathematics section. So like algebra type stuff, um, geometry, sorry, and the stuff like oh my. And we do get a calculator because we do have some accommodations. Thank God. Um, so to help us with, difficult problems. But some problems don't it's hard to use a calculator on, so that's stressful. We're on the most stressful section, and luckily it's last section of the test of the day, thank God. So so they basically talk about the math sections and give instructions and put your phone away and be quiet. Oh, that's all the guidelines all over again. Um, yeah, um, but and you can use a calculator on certain things, and you can have scrap paper, but we have to take it at the end of the section. Then you have an hour and a half. So he is the most anxious for this section because Hunter is horrible at math. Um, but he tries his best, and the SAT is really important for your future. Um, but um, but the test gets started. He uses his calculator. He does a bunch of like algebra problems. It's like basic sum time, basic math, and like geometry, and he's stressed, and this is where the essays are very stressful with mathematics. Um, and it's boring, but we see Hunter and everyone else do the test. And once the hour and a half is done, everyone celebrates. They throw their trash bag, they get their phone, and he's like, "Yay, phone! Oh my gosh!" And I kisses his phone. He's so happy that his phone is and like, oh my gosh, Jay, we're finished with the SAT. We survived SAT. It was stressful, but we survived it. You know, I have stress from it, just like we had PTSD from the PSATs back in October. I remember that. Um, but we are finished. We survived. Yay. We don't have to do it again until next year, which, oh my God. But we survived it this year, and we're all good. So. Um, but he's kind of nervous about it, but we'll see. But thank God, we're done for now. Um, so after that, he goes to the next period, um, which is actually with Mr. Stevens. So after the mathematics section, he has to go to algebra 2. But luckily, it's only since It was an hour and a half. It's only the last half of the class, like the last couple minutes, so that's good. But he gave Mr. Steve, gave him like a copy of the lessons and notes or whatever, and they told him what the assignment is. So now, like he got done with like math, but now he has another hard assignment. But he is kind of glad though that he didn't miss after two because he wants to get it done and over with for the day and not have to worry about it like tomorrow. So he's glad just to get it out of the way. But he's disappointed because he got done a stressful SAT test with a stressful mathematics portion, but now he has to do more math today. It's just overwhelming, but that's okay. But after that, the bell ring, he goes to sixth period, back to East Forest, back from this whole spot. We were just there for most of the day, half of the day, and they get the assignment done for Algebra 2. Now, for science that he missed, um, he will have to catch up on it then tomorrow or at home this evening, but that will be future hunters for me. And for Hartman today, he missed English Wednesday because this was a Wednesday, and Wednesdays are English day at Hartman, but he will have to go to English on for that Thursday and catch up. So, but that's okay, and but um, kind of sucks, but he'll do what he will do. Well, he'll do what he will need to do. But yeah. But he gets altitude done, get out of the way, and then he goes to U.S. history, Mr. Wild Image. It starts out wild, um, but they have like a bell work lesson, and then they have some type of assignment that they do, and then the bell wing at the end of the day, the bell wings. He's glad that the SATs are done. He's glad that the day is done. It's been a long day, and but he's glad to go home. He celebrates going home, and um, but yeah, he has a wonderful Wednesday evening. And that is it for this episode of Saggio and Black Marathon Madness. I hope everyone has a wonderful Wednesday evening. May God bless and protect each and every one of you. And we don't have an episode scheduled for tomorrow. We had like a miscommunication, so we're not doing episode. There will not be an episode of Jump Block Marathon Madness tomorrow on Thursday. So I hope everyone has a terrific Thursday. It'll be a Lee episode, either a Marathon Madness or just a regular Sad John Block episode. But so sorry about that. Sorry about the English, but we will not have an episode Thursday. But I'll see you Friday night for another episode of Sad John Block Marathon Madness. Bye for now. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm welcome back to this episode of John Blackmere from Madness. I'm your host, Johnson McCain. I missed you all on Thursday, but we had miscommunication, so we just did a rewind of the previous episode. But we're happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back. Um, I hope y'all are having a fantastic Friday, and welcome back. All right, season 9, episode 39, Friday 11. So this episode starts out normal. He gets breakfast and he goes to Hartman. Uh, Today is just a regular day in Miss Higgins' class, which is early childhood education. So we just chit chat a little bit. We chit chat about our weekend plans, and then we have a discussion of how the previous week, the past week went, what went good, what didn't go so good, what we want to do next, what we want to do better. We just had a discussion about that, and then we had like a short lesson, activity type thing, I guess, and um, then we had our 15-minute break, which there was nothing crazy going on, so we didn't show nothing. Um, Hunter was probably just eating a snack, watching some TikTok. They would do some mobile games. Um, and then Um, then after that, they go back. They have a lesson, and then they have another assignment. Um, activity, I'm guessing probably, and then near the end of the day, they prepare for the next week. They prepare for their lesson plans and their weekly calendar for the next um, week for the preschool program. Um, and then the bell rings, and then he goes back to the high school. They have study hall, which we don't show ever because there's no Warhead drama. There's nothing interesting. Once again, Hunter just watching TikTok or something, or working on work or something. I don't know, but there's nothing interesting. But then we go to lunch, we have a board meeting, we just chit chat, we talk about our weekend plans, and today is Fun Day Friday, so he does something nice. He compliments the members on their outfit or whatever, and he gives out some candy as well to his board members to show appreciation for Fun Day Friday um, every week. And then since November, since Thanksgiving time, Friday, to give gifts and to show appreciation, and not to be a jerk all the time, and not to be his way or the highway all the time. But anyway, which it is his way or the highway, but he doesn't need to do that all the time. And then he goes to science. Well, it's pizza day, so he eats pizza. They all eat pizza, chips and ice cream and all the rest, and it's delicious, like always. And then he goes to science with Mr. Mindock and the student teacher, Mr. Miller. They have bell work lesson and then activity. And then he goes to Algebra 2 with Mr. Stevens. Today they have a lesson and that's it. They don't have no assignment or activity today. Well, they do an activity, but they don't have an assignment, which is nice. Resource with Oswald. He doesn't have no assignment for math today, but he catches up some on some other work from science and some other classes that he missed from the SATs the other day. So he works on that. He gets those done, and then he goes to U.S. history with Mr. Wild Limage. They have basically a bell work and a quick lesson. I think they have a quiz or a test over what they previously been learning, like the previous chapters or whatever of their book, of their textbook or whatnot. So their unit, whatever you want to say. But I think they have like a quiz or test. They occasionally have those. And then near the end of the day, he does his Friday dancey dance. He does his ritual that he does every Friday at 7 period to end out the week and to go into a wonderful weekend. And then the bell rings, he hands out, and he has a wonderful weekend. And that is it for this episode of Sajon Bot Marathon Madness. I hope everyone has a fantastic, fabulous Friday night and a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you here for another episode Monday night next week. Um, so I'll see you then. God bless and protect each and every one of you. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.